Today, let's embark on an incredible journey through some of the most beautiful places in the world. From paradise beaches to majestic mountains, you'll discover destinations that seem unreal due to their breathtaking beauty. And who knows, one of these places might just be your next dream destination. Spiti Valley, India. Spiti Valley, a land of mysteries and wonders hidden in the heart of the Indian Himalayas, is one of the most remote and fascinating destinations on the planet. Located in the state of Himachal Pradesh, this arid and isolated valley is a rare gem where ancient monasteries rest atop steep hills, crystal-clear rivers carve through desert landscapes, and traditional villages preserve an authentic Tibetan culture. Getting to Spiti is no simple task. The journey is an adventure in itself, navigating winding and challenging roads that cross some of the roughest terrains in the world. There are two main access routes, one through the Kinnaur Valley, which is open almost year-round, and another through Manali, passing through the formidable Kunzumla Pass, which is only accessible during the summer months. No matter which path you take, the view is absolutely breathtaking. Upon entering Spiti, the first thing you notice is the vast emptiness. Unlike the lush landscapes of other parts of Himachal, here the land is dry and rocky, dotted with centuries-old monasteries standing as spiritual guardians of the region. The deep blue sky contrasts with the snow-capped peaks, creating a surreal setting. Key Monastery, one of the valley's most iconic attractions, is a sight to behold. Perched at 13,671 feet above sea level, this 6th century Buddhist monastery is the largest and most influential in the region. Its white and reddish-brown walls seem to emerge from the mountain, and inside monks chant ancient hymns while Tibetan illuminations decorate the walls. A visit to Key offers an intense spiritual experience and the opportunity to witness the monks' daily lives. Continuing the journey, you arrive at Carve, the administrative capital of the valley. Small yet vibrant, this town is a gathering point for travelers and explorers. Here you can find simple accommodations, cozy cafes and local markets where artisans sell Tibetan tapestries and silver jewelry. Carve also serves as a base for exploring other fascinating attractions in the region. Zermatt. Zermatt, a picturesque village nestled among the towering Swiss Alps, is a true paradise for nature lovers, adventurers, and luxury seekers. Located in the canton of Valais, this charming alpine town attracts visitors from all over the world, captivated by its stunning landscapes, impeccable infrastructure, and of course, the majestic presence of the Matterhorn, the iconic pyramidal mountain that has become a symbol of Switzerland. From the moment you arrive in Zermatt, you realize this is no ordinary destination. The town has a strict commitment to sustainability, which is why conventional cars are prohibited. Transportation is exclusively electric vehicles, horse-drawn carriages, and of course walking, making the experience even more immersive and peaceful. The most traditional way to reach Zermatt is via the Glacier Express train, one of the most spectacular railway journeys in the world. Connecting Zermatt to St. Moritz, the train winds through deep valleys, impressive bridges, and tunnels carved into the mountains, providing an unforgettable visual spectacle. Upon arriving at the Zermatt station, you feel as if you've entered a parallel world, where modernity exists in perfect harmony with alpine tradition. Walking through the center of Zermatt, visitors find cobblestone streets, wooden chalets adorned with vibrant flowers, and a multitude of shops, restaurants, and luxury hotels. One of the most visited spots is Bahnhofstrasse, the town's main street, where sophisticated boutiques share space with charming cafes and pastry shops serving the finest Swiss chocolates. For fans of Alpine cuisine, a must-stop is the Chevroni restaurant, famous for its cozy atmosphere and traditional dishes prepared with local ingredients. But it's impossible to talk about Zermatt without highlighting its greatest treasure, the Matterhorn. Standing at 14,692 feet, this mountain has a history full of challenges and achievements. The first successful ascent occurred in 1865, when British mountaineer Edward Whymper and his team finally reached the summit. Unfortunately, the descent was not as glorious. 4 members of the team lost their lives, making this climb a tragic milestone in mountaineering history. Today, the Matterhorn continues to challenge adventurers from around the world, but only the most experienced dare to tackle its steep ice and rock faces. Mont Saint-Michel, France. In the heart of Normandy, a rocky island rises from the waters, defying time and inspiring generations. Its name echoes through the centuries, Mont Saint-Michel, a site that seems straight out of a fairy tale, where stone and faith intertwine in mystical harmony. It is said that this natural fortress, protected by the treacherous tides of the English Channel, inspired J.R.R. Tolkien in creating Minas Tirith, the grand white city from The Lord of the Rings. Indeed, its medieval grandeur evokes the majesty of ancient legends. At the summit, crowning the horizon, rests the majestic Benedictine Abbey. The paths leading up to it wind through narrow, labyrinthine streets carved by history. A refuge for pilgrims, a stronghold of kings, a jewel that defies the centuries. When the tides rise, Mont Saint-Michel becomes an isolated island, its access swallowed by water in a hypnotizing spectacle of nature. The sea advances swiftly, like an invisible army, making the island virtually impregnable throughout history. The ocean itself was its wall, an unwavering guardian. Santorini, Greece. Santorini, one of Greece's most iconic islands, is a destination that blends stunning landscapes, a rich history, and exceptional cuisine. Located in the Aegean Sea, this volcanic island is famous for its white houses with blue domes, breathtaking sunsets, and exotic beaches. Its history begins about 3,600 years ago, when one of the largest volcanic eruptions in history destroyed much of the island. This devastating event may have inspired the legend of Atlantis as described by Plato. The explosion created the iconic submerged caldera, a landscape of steep cliffs that now captivates tourists from around the world. But the remains of the ancient Akrotiri civilization, preserved in volcanic ash, reveal an advanced and sophisticated society that thrived before the disaster. Machu Picchu, Peru. Machu Picchu, the majestic lost city of the Incas, is situated at approximately 7,170 feet above sea level atop a mountain in the Andes Mountains of Peru. This archaeological site, one of the greatest treasures of Inca civilization, continues to fascinate historians, archaeologists, and tourists from all over the world. Its construction, shrouded in mysteries, reveals the impressive ingenuity of the Incas and their deep connection with nature. The city, carefully planned, has withstood time and natural phenomena, standing as a testament to the splendor of this ancient civilization. Machu Picchu is considered one of the 7 wonders of the modern world and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, making it one of the most iconic destinations on the planet. Machu Picchu's history dates back to the 15th century, during the reign of the Inca Emperor Pachacuti. It is believed that the site was built as a royal estate for the emperor, or as an important ceremonial and administrative center. Its strategic location, high atop a mountain surrounded by the Urubamba River, provided protection and an impressive panoramic view. The city was meticulously planned, with urban and agricultural sectors, religious temples, farming terraces, and advanced irrigation systems. However, despite its importance, Machu Picchu remained unknown to the outside world for centuries until its rediscovery in 1911 by American explorer Hiram Bingham. The construction of Machu Picchu is a testament to the advanced Incan engineering. The stone blocks were precisely cut and fitted together without the use of mortar, a technique known as ashlar. This method allowed the structures to withstand earthquakes and harsh weather conditions. Machu Picchu's drainage and irrigation system is one of the most sophisticated ever built, ensuring a steady supply of drinking water and protecting the buildings from erosion and landslides. Additionally, the agricultural terraces not only maximized the available space for crops, but also stabilized the soil and prevented collapses. Upon entering Machu Picchu, visitors encounter a complex of buildings organized into distinct sectors. In the religious sector, highlights include the Temple of the Sun, one of the most sacred structures in the site, and the Intihuatana, a ceremonial stone that served as a solar clock to mark solstices and equinoxes. Fan Sipan. Fan Sipan, known as the Roof of Indochina, rises majestically to 10,312 feet above sea level, making it the tallest mountain in Vietnam and the entire Indochina peninsula. Located in Lao Cai province in the far north of the country, this impressive mountain formation is part of the Huang Lian Sun Range, a mountain chain stretching across the region, characterized by lush vegetation, diverse climates, and a unique ecosystem that attracts explorers, adventurers, and scholars from around the world. Fan Sipan is part of Huang Lian National Park, a protected area due to its rich biodiversity, where rare species of flora and fauna coexist in a humid tropical forest environment. With an ecosystem ranging from dense tropical forests to alpine regions with temperatures that can drop below freezing, the mountain serves as a natural laboratory for scientists and researchers interested in studying the influence of altitude on plant and animal life. Beyond its impressive biodiversity, Fan Sipan holds immense cultural significance for the ethnic minorities in the region. Among the main groups living along the mountain slopes are the Hmong, Dao, and Tay people, communities that have lived in harmony with nature for centuries, preserving their traditions, spiritual beliefs, and agricultural practices. For these communities, the mountain is sacred, believed to be a place of connection between the heavens and the earth, where ancestral spirits reside and protect the region. Many festivals and rituals are held throughout the year to honor the spirits of the mountains, ensuring prosperous harvests and protection from natural disasters. Historically, Phan Xipan also attracted interest from French colonizers, who, in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, explored the region and established Sapa as a mountain retreat for Europeans seeking relief from the intense heat of lower altitudes. Today, Sapa is one of Vietnam's top tourist destinations, serving as a base for adventurers looking to conquer the mountain's summit. Over the years, tourism infrastructure has developed significantly, offering lodging, dining, and transportation options for those eager to experience the unique adventure of exploring Phan Xipan. Bora Bora, France. The very name Bora Bora evokes images of crystal-clear waters, white sand beaches, and a paradise landscape that seems straight out of a dream. Located in the Pacific Ocean, the island is part of French Polynesia and lies approximately 143 miles northwest of Tahiti. A luxury destination synonymous with romance and exclusivity, Bora Bora is one of the most sought-after places by travelers from around the world. However, beyond its glamour and breathtaking scenery, this island harbors a rich history, ancient traditions, and unique biodiversity. Bora Bora's origins trace back to ancient times, when the first Polynesians arrived around the 4th century. The island was originally called Pora Pora, meaning firstborn, referencing a legend that placed it as the first island created by the gods. Over time, and with the arrival of Europeans, the name evolved into Bora Bora. European explorers such as Jacob Roggeveen in 1722 and James Cook in 1769 were among the first to spot and document the island. However, it was only in the 19th century that Bora Bora became part of France, when French Polynesia was officially annexed as an overseas territory. During World War II, the island gained strategic importance, becoming a military base for the United States. Remnants of that time, such as abandoned cannons and hidden fortifications, can still be found among the dense vegetation. Bora Bora is a volcanic atoll surrounded by a coral reef barrier, forming a lagoon with stunning shades of turquoise blue and emerald green. Mount Otemanu, standing at 2,385 feet, is the island's highest point and an ancient extinct volcano that dominates the landscape. The waters surrounding the island are home to an impressive diversity of marine life, including manta rays, reef sharks, and countless tropical fish. Tourism is Bora Bora's primary economic activity. Luxury resorts with overwater bungalows, such as the renowned Four Seasons, St. Regis, and Intercontinental, attract visitors seeking exclusivity and comfort. Staying in an overwater bungalow overlooking the tranquil lagoon is one of Bora Bora's most coveted experiences, offering panoramic views of one of the most spectacular sceneries in the world. Berchtesgaden National Park. The majesty of the Bavarian Alps reveals one of its best-kept secrets in southern Germany, Berchtesgaden National Park. Established in 1978, this natural paradise spans approximately 81 square miles, making it Germany's only alpine national park, located in Bavaria near the Austrian border. The park is home to extraordinary biodiversity, breathtaking landscapes, and a rich history that spans centuries. Its towering mountains, glacier-carved valleys, and crystal-clear lakes offer some of the most spectacular scenery in Europe, attracting visitors from all over the world. The high mountains form the park's backbone, with the Watzmann Massif standing at 8,901 feet, making it Germany's third highest peak. The images capture the grandeur of the terrain, revealing the transition from dense forests to alpine meadows, and finally, to snow-covered peaks. The region where Berchtesgaden National Park now stands has been inhabited for thousands of years. In ancient times, the Celts and later the Bavarians settled in these valleys using the landscape for cattle farming and salt extraction, an activity that dates back to the medieval period. Salt, known as white gold, fueled the local economy and attracted the attention of European nobility. During the 19th century, the area's natural beauty caught the eye of the aristocracy, and Berchtesgaden became a popular destination for romantic painters, writers, and mountaineers. One of the park's most iconic treasures is Lake Königssee, a glacial lake with emerald green waters that reflect the surrounding mountains. A visit to the lake reveals its breathtaking beauty, exploring its shores and uncovering the legend of the Bell of St. Bartholomew, a small church with red domes that has become one of the region's postcard-perfect landmarks. The electric boats that cross Königssee ensure that the lake's serenity is preserved, and one of the magical moments of the visit is the demonstration of the echo produced by the mountains, where a trumpeter plays a note, and the natural repetition of the sound resonates multiple times. Meteora, Greece. In the remote region of Thessaly, in the heart of mainland Greece, stands one of the most dramatic landscapes on Earth. Massive rock formations that seem to defy gravity. These towering stone pillars, rising hundreds of feet above the ground, are known as Meteora, a name that literally means suspended in the air. And there is no more fitting name to describe this natural wonder. The story of Meteora begins millions of years ago, long before human presence. It is believed that these rock formations were shaped by the action of water and wind over approximately 60 million years. During the Tertiary period, the entire region was submerged under a vast river delta. Erosion combined with seismic activity and geological transformations sculpted these stone giants, creating caves and crevices that would later serve as refuges for hermits and monks. Over the ages, the riverbed receded, and the sediments formed layers of sandstone and conglomerate, resulting in the imposing rock pillars we see today. The human history of Meteora is deeply rooted in the rise of Orthodox Christianity in Greece. Around the 4th century, ascetic monks began to inhabit the caves and grottos that dotted these rock formations. Seeking isolation, they pursued a life of prayer and contemplation amid the imposing beauty of nature. Over the following centuries, the monastic community grew. and the need for greater protection against invasions led to the construction of the first monasteries atop the cliffs. At the height of its glory, Meteora housed up to 24 active monasteries. They were centers of learning, where monks copied manuscripts and preserved Greek Orthodox culture during the dark times of Ottoman rule. However, many of these monasteries were abandoned over the centuries due to their remote location and the decline in the number of monks. Saint-Béarlais, France. At the foot of the majestic Pyrenees, where mountains touch the sky and valleys whisper ancient tales, lies the picturesque commune of Saint-Béarlais. This hidden gem of southwestern France, located in the Haute-Garonne department in the Occitanie region, is a living testament to the rich tapestry of history, culture, and nature that defines this part of France. The history of Saint-Béarlais is deep and multifaceted. In ancient times, the site was known as Passus Lupi, or Wolf's Passage, possibly referring to migration routes of these animals or local legends that surrounded the area. Over time, the village transformed into a strategic fortress, controlling the Garonne Valley and earning the nickname Key to France. This designation underscores the village's strategic importance in defending and controlling the routes crossing the Pyrenees, particularly during periods of conflict and intense trade. At the heart of the village stands the imposing Château de Saint-Béart, a 12th century fortress that has stood as a silent sentinel for centuries. Built by local lords, the castle was later expanded by King Henry IV, reflecting its continued significance in the political and military dynamics of the region. Featuring a keep tower that rises over the village and a chapel added in the 19th century, the castle offers panoramic views of the Garonne Valley and the surrounding mountains, inviting visitors on a journey through time and landscape. Maldives, South Asia. The Maldives, a breathtaking archipelago located in the heart of the Indian Ocean. A tropical paradise where the endless blue of the sea meets soft white sands and where each island seems to have been handcrafted by nature itself. But beyond the dreamlike landscapes, there is a history, a culture, and a way of life that make this place one of the most fascinating on the planet. Consisting of approximately 1,200 islands, the Maldives stretch over 560 miles south of Sri Lanka and India, making it one of the smallest and most geographically dispersed countries in the world. Of these islands, a little over 200 are inhabited, while another 100 have been transformed into luxurious resorts. The rest, small pieces of land surrounded by crystal-clear waters, many still untouched by humans. The unique geography of the Maldives is due to its coral formation. These islands are actually the submerged peaks of volcanic mountains that emerged millions of years ago. Over time, colonies of coral grew around these submerged mountains, forming the atolls that now host one of the richest marine biodiversities on the planet. Life in the Maldives has always been deeply connected to the ocean. For centuries, Maldivians have navigated these waters as skilled fishermen and traders. Fishing remains one of the main pillars of the local economy, and tuna, caught using the traditional pole and line method, is one of the country's most important products. But it was tourism that turned the Maldives into one of the most exclusive destinations in the world. In the 1970s, when the first travelers arrived on these islands, there were no luxury resorts or overwater bungalows. But the stunning beauty and absolute serenity quickly attracted visitors. Soon resorts began to be built, and today the Maldives is synonymous with exclusivity and sophistication. Guests from all over the world seek the unique experience of staying in floating villas, diving with manta rays and sharks, and losing themselves in the vast blue of the Indian Ocean. But the Maldives is much more than a tourist paradise. Here, a rich and vibrant culture has flourished over the centuries. Influenced by Arab, Indian, and Southeast Asian traders, Maldivian culture is a mosaic of traditions. However, the Maldives faces a major challenge. As the lowest lying country in the world, with an average elevation of just 3 feet above sea level, the archipelago is on the front lines of climate change. Rising ocean levels threaten to swallow its islands in the coming centuries. The race against time has already begun. Protective barriers are being built, coral reforestation projects are being encouraged, and even plans for a floating city have been proposed. But uncertainty looms over the future of the Maldives. Swiss Alps. A kingdom of snow-capped peaks, lush green valleys, and crystal-clear lakes. A sanctuary where nature asserts itself with majesty, shaping landscapes that seem straight out of a dream. Since time immemorial, this region has captivated travelers, explorers, and artists. Its relentless beauty has served as inspiration for legends, paintings, and literary works. But the Swiss Alps are much more than just a landscape. They are a living mosaic of human stories, ancient cultures, and an unbreakable bond between man and the mountains. At the heart of Europe, this mountain range dominates Switzerland's landscape, covering approximately 60% of the country's territory. Its iconic mountains, such as the Matterhorn, Jungfrau, and Eiger, rise like eternal sentinels, defying time and the elements. The grandeur of the Matterhorn, with its imposing pyramidal shape, has inspired everyone from early mountaineers to the creators of the famous Toblerone logo. The first ascent of this mountain, accomplished in 1865, was both heroic and tragic. 4 of the 7 climbers who reached the summit perished on the descent, reminding us of the uncontrollable power of the alpine wilderness. Jungfrau Joch, known as the top of Europe, is home to the highest railway station on the continent at an elevation of 11,340 feet. The journey to this point, taken on a train that winds through tunnels carved into the rock, is one of the most spectacular in the world. Upon arrival, visitors are greeted with a surreal view: eternal glaciers, resplendent mountains, and a horizon that seems to stretch into infinity. In the summer, the Alps reveal another side of their beauty. The once snow-covered slopes burst into a sea of wildflowers, creating a colorful spectacle that enchants travelers. Winding trails lead to hidden lakes, breathtaking waterfalls, and scenic overlooks that offer panoramic views of stunning landscapes. Alpine culture is also reflected in its cuisine, where artisanal cheeses, steaming fondues, and fine chocolates serve as true ambassadors of flavor. The people of this region coexist with the unpredictable power of nature. Avalanches, harsh winters, and the constant need to preserve the ecosystem are ongoing challenges. However, The resilience of alpine communities, combined with a deep respect for the land, ensures that this region continues to thrive. Today, the Swiss Alps represent a balance between tradition and innovation. Ancient villages have modernized while preserving their authentic charm. Tourism continues to grow, but with a strong focus on sustainability. The mountains still attract those in search of adventure, peace, or simply an encounter with nature's magnificence. Caucasus, Georgia. A mystical land filled with towering mountains, ancient traditions, and a past shaped by legends and conquests. At the heart of this region lies Georgia, a small country in size but vast in history, culture, and landscapes. Georgia is a land of contrasts. Between the Black Sea and the mountains of the Greater Caucasus, its landscapes range from lush green valleys to snow-capped peaks, from vibrant cities to villages seemingly frozen in time. This country, situated at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, carries in its roots a resilient spirit and a pride that has endured for centuries. Its original name, Sakartvelo, reflects a people united by their unique language, Georgian, whose singular curvilinear script sets it apart from any other alphabet in the world. Georgia is more than a country. It is an ancient civilization whose foundation dates back to time immemorial. The history of Georgia is a tale of resilience and rebirth. Situated along one of the most important trade routes of antiquity, the Silk Road, the region has been invaded and contested by empires for centuries: Persians, Ottomans, Mongols, Russians. Yet, despite all adversities, the Georgian identity was never lost. On the contrary, it grew stronger. The capital, Tbilisi, reflects this spirit. Founded in the 5th century, its streets are a true cultural mosaic. Medieval Orthodox churches, mosques, and synagogues stand side by side, bearing witness to a past shaped by both encounters and conflicts. At the top of a hill, the Narikala fortress watches over the city, while the Kura River winds through historic neighborhoods and modern buildings. Tbilisi is a city of contrasts and vibrant energy. Districts like Abanotubani, famous for its sulfur hot springs, date back to the time when the city was a key stop for merchants and travelers. Its markets and taverns are filled with aromas and flavors that tell the story of the country through its cuisine. Hawaii, United States. A remote archipelago surrounded by the vast waters of the Pacific Ocean, one of the most magical and unique places on the planet. A land of active volcanoes, paradise beaches, and an ancient culture deeply connected to the forces of nature. A place where history and tradition intertwine with modernity, creating an atmosphere that fascinates and enchants. Located more than 2,400 miles from the United States mainland, Hawaii is the most isolated state in the country. Comprising 8 main islands and numerous smaller islets, this volcanic archipelago emerged from the ocean over millions of years, shaped by the relentless eruptions of its volcanoes. The largest island, known as the Big Island, is home to Mauna Loa and Kilauea, 2 of the most active volcanoes in the world. Their slow-moving lava flows that reach the ocean are a breathtaking spectacle, a constant reminder of the geological power that shapes this region. But Hawaii is much more than a geological wonder. It is also the birthplace of one of the richest cultures in the Pacific. The first Polynesians arrived on the islands more than 1,500 years ago, navigating vast distances, guided only by the stars, ocean currents, and trade winds. With them, they brought not only their seafaring skills, but also their culture, beliefs, and spirituality. The Hawaiian people revere nature as something sacred. Mana, a spiritual force present in everything, guides their lives and traditions to this day. Among these traditions is hula, one of Hawaii's most iconic art forms. Far more than just a dance, hula is a way of storytelling. Each hand gesture, each foot movement, represents elements of nature, gods, myths, and historical events. Accompanied by melodic chanting and the sound of the ipu heke, a drum made from a gourd, hula carries ancestral knowledge, passed down from generation to generation. Hawaiian culture is also reflected in its language. Hawaiian, one of the state's official languages, was nearly lost during the period of colonization and American rule, but today it is experiencing a revival. Hawaiian immersion schools have helped preserve this heritage, ensuring that future generations continue to communicate in the language of their ancestors. Over the centuries, Hawaii has undergone profound transformations. In the late 18th century, it was unified under the reign of King Kamehameha I, who through alliances and battles brought all the islands under a single government. During the 19th century, Christian missionaries and foreign traders arrived in the archipelago, introducing new cultural and economic influences. The expansion of sugarcane and pineapple plantations brought waves of immigrant workers from Japan, China, the Philippines, and Portugal, turning Hawaii into a multicultural melting pot. Faroe Islands, Denmark. The Faroe Islands, part of the Kingdom of Denmark, rise from the cold waters like ocean sentinels, shaped by the wind and the fury of the elements. A remote territory filled with legends, traditions, and breathtaking nature that defies the limits of imagination. Just over 50,000 inhabitants call these islands home, scattered across 18 volcanic landmasses. Here, life follows the rhythm of nature, and history is intertwined with the landscape. The first settlers arrived more than 1,000 years ago, sailing under stormy skies, seeking refuge and sustenance in a place that seemed inhospitable. Viking peoples and Irish monks left their mark, laying the foundations for a society that, to this day, maintains its unique and resilient essence. The climate is temperamental, marked by strong winds, constant rain, and dense fog that shrouds the mountains like a mystical veil. The sun appears as a rare gift, illuminating the steep cliffs and deep fjords that carve the coastline. In these rugged lands, low vegetation covers the hills like an emerald green mantle, where flocks of sheep graze freely, indifferent to the ever-changing weather. It is these sheep, in fact, that gave the islands their name, Føroyar, or Sheep Islands, in Old Norse. Australian coast. From golden beaches to towering cliffs, from vibrant reefs to serene bays, the Australian coast is a mosaic of life, history, and untamed beauty. With more than 15,500 miles of coastline, this is a place where nature manifests itself in all its grandeur. To the north, the tropical waters of the Coral Sea conceal one of the greatest natural treasures on the planet, the Great Barrier Reef. Moving southward, the beaches stretch endlessly, revealing tranquil coves and vast expanses of sand that seem to go on forever. To the west, the Indian Ocean kisses the shores of Western Australia. while to the east the Pacific Ocean carves out bays and headlands that stand against time. Our journey begins in the far northeast, where humid heat and tropical rainforests meet the ocean in a spectacle of biodiversity. Here, the Great Barrier Reef extends for more than 1,400 miles, forming the largest reef system in the world, a submarine paradise where turtles, sharks, rays, and thousands of species of fish move among colorful corals, a shifting landscape sculpted by the ocean and time. Its crystal-clear waters invite explorers and scientists to dive into a world that still holds many secrets. But this delicate ecosystem is also under threat. Global warming and human activity are disrupting the balance of this underwater kingdom, endangering the life that has flourished here for millions of years. Heading south along the Queensland coast, we pass through cities like Cairns and Brisbane, which serve as gateways to a coastline where surfers and beachgoers share the waters with dolphins and migrating whales. Gold Coast, Australia. In Gold Coast, skyscrapers rise along the shoreline, contrasting with the untouched nature that hides just beyond the bustling beaches. Further south, in New South Wales, we find Sydney, the iconic city that embraces the Pacific Ocean with its famous opera house and the imposing harbour bridge. Its beaches, such as Bondi and Manly, are known worldwide, but just a few miles away, you can find secluded bays and cliffs that reveal Australia's wild side. Yangshuo, China. Yangshuo, a small paradise in the heart of southern China, seems to have been delicately sculpted by the gods of nature. Towering karst mountains rise like imposing sentinels, their silhouettes reflected in the tranquil waters of the Li River. This is a place where time slows down, and the landscape unfolds like a traditional Chinese painting, where each brushstroke reveals a mystery, a legend, an ancestral secret. In the early morning light, a soft mist hovers over the rugged peaks as fishermen prepare their bamboo rafts. They follow an ancient tradition, fishing with cormorants. With lanterns illuminating the dark waters, the birds dive skillfully, capturing fish before obediently returning to their owners. This silent dance between man and bird has played out for centuries, a living testament to the harmony between humans and nature. Alaska, United States. Alaska, the largest and most remote of the 50 US states, is a land of extremes and unparalleled natural beauty. With its vast snow-covered mountains, towering glaciers, dense forests, and diverse wildlife, this region stands out as one of the last great wilderness frontiers on the planet. Located in the far northwest of North America, Alaska borders Canada and is separated from Russia only by the Bering Strait. Its capital, Juneau, is one of the few in the world accessible only by air or sea, given the state's rugged geography. Originally inhabited by indigenous peoples such as the Inuit, Aleuts, Tlingit, and Athabaskan, Alaska has a rich and complex history. These peoples survived for millennia in a harsh environment, developing advanced techniques for hunting, fishing, and food preservation. In the 18th century, Russian explorers were the first Europeans to make contact with the region, exploiting its natural riches, especially sea otter hunting, as their pelts were highly valuable in international trade. In 1867, the United States purchased the territory from Russia for $7.2 million, a price that was considered a waste at the time. However, the discovery of gold in the late 19th century and later oil in the 20th century transformed Alaska into a place of great economic significance. Alaska's climate varies drastically depending on the region. In the north, near the Arctic Ocean, frozen tundras dominate where winters are harsh, with temperatures that can drop to negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sun can disappear for months during the winter. In the south, along the coastal areas, the climate is more temperate with short summers and less extreme winters. The state's largest city, Anchorage, experiences a subarctic climate with heavy snowfall for much of the year. Due to its location near the Arctic Circle, Alaska is known for the midnight sun phenomenon, when the sun can shine for up to 24 consecutive hours in summer and for nearly total darkness during winter. Tara River, Montenegro. The Tara River, a jewel sculpted by time and nature, cuts through the heart of the Balkans like a blue blade of crystal-clear waters. Along its winding journey, it passes through towering gorges, untouched forests, and valleys where wildlife thrives as if untouched by human presence. In its relentless flow, the Tara not only carves Montenegro's landscape, but also tells the story of a world shaped by water and time. Stretching approximately 91 miles, the Tara River originates in the Prokletihe Mountains, a mountain range that forms the natural border between Montenegro and Albania. From this elevated point, its waters follow a bold and fearless course, carving a path through rocks and gorges until it meets the Drina River, which in turn leads it to the legendary Danube. But before becoming part of something greater, the Tara has its own story to tell. The Tara River Canyon, often compared to the Grand Canyon in the United States, is one of the most impressive natural wonders in Europe. With depths reaching up to 4,265 feet in some sections, it holds the title of the deepest canyon on the continent and the second deepest in the world. The steep rock walls sculpted over millennia guard secrets of an era when time moved slowly, gradually shaping the dramatic and lush landscapes we see today. A UNESCO-protected natural heritage site, the Tara River Canyon is part of Dermota National Park, a vast expanse of untamed nature where biodiversity thrives impressively. Among the dense forests and riverbanks, brown bears, wolves, otters, and a vast array of bird species call this place home. The waters of the Tara River are so pure that, in many sections, they can be consumed directly from the riverbed, a testament to its pristine preservation. The power of the Tara River is not only expressed through its natural beauty, but also in the adrenaline rush it provides to adventurers. Whitewater rafting along the canyon has become one of the most popular sports in the region, attracting travelers from all over the world. The rapids, ranging from moderate to extreme levels, challenge those seeking excitement amid nature's grandeur. During the spring, when water levels rise due to melting snow, the Tara River transforms into a battleground between man and nature, testing the courage and skill of those who dare to venture into its waters. Northern Vietnam. A region of untamed beauty, shaped by the force of nature and the resilience of its people. From Hanoi to the distant lands of Ha Giang, From the tranquil waters of Ha Long Bay to the rolling hills of Sapa, every landscape tells a story. Every city pulses with life, and every village keeps an ancient culture alive. Northern Vietnam is the cradle of Vietnamese civilization, where kings and emperors built dynasties and warriors resisted foreign invaders. Hanoi, the capital, is the vibrant heart of the country. Amid narrow streets, motorbikes weaving together like a chaotic ballet, and architecture blending French and Chinese influences, the city exudes both tradition and modernity. Hoan Kiem Lake, with its legendary golden turtle, is a symbol of the Vietnamese soul, a place of tranquility amid the urban bustle. But beyond the capital's walls, another Vietnam unfolds. The winding road leads north, where mountains embrace the sky and rice fields stretch in terraces, meticulously carved by generations of farmers. Sapa is a refuge in the highlands, a mosaic of ethnic groups who preserve their customs despite growing modernization. The Hmong, Red Dao and Tay people live in villages where time seems to move at a different pace, governed by the agricultural cycle and the rhythmic beats of shamanic drums. In floating villages, fishermen live as they have for centuries, in houses that gently sway on emerald waters. Wooden boats glide between towering limestone pillars, carrying tourists seeking the enchantment of the landscape and the serenity of a sunset reflected on the calm waters. Even farther north, Ha Giang unveils one of Vietnam's most dramatic landscapes. Here roads zigzag through massive gorges, where rivers carve deep canyons and mountains rise like natural fortresses. Buckwheat fields bloom in shades of pink, covering the slopes with an ethereal blanket.